Part 2. The Wheel. The stranger stayed only long enough for the village to grow curious. That was his way. As soon as too many eyes began to follow him, he moved on. Not hurriedly, not secretly, simply in the same manner he had arrived. One morning, with the grey dog padding ahead along the road, he left the village behind and continued his journey through the Highlands. The hills rolled away beneath a pale sky, and the road wound through glens where few travellers passed. It was near midday when he came upon a wagon standing beside the road, or rather, leaning beside it. A small camp had gathered around it, a family by the look of them. Bundles, blankets, cooking pots, and weary faces. The wagon sat at an awkward angle, one side sunk low to the ground. The wheel had failed. The travellers looked up as the man approached. One of them stepped forward. "We've been stranded here 3 days," he said. "Not a soul has passed this way." He glanced back at the wagon. "We don't know how to mend it." The stranger looked at the wheel, then at the wagon. Without a word, he set down his haversack. The grey dog settled nearby, watching the camp with calm, knowing eyes. The man walked over to the damaged wheel and knelt beside it. From his bag he drew a handful of tools. Nothing remarkable, nothing grand. Yet the way he handled them made it seem as though they belonged there in his hands. The travellers gathered close. At first they watched with curiosity, then with surprise, and finally with astonishment. The stranger worked with the confidence of a master wheelwright. He examined the hub, checked the spokes, tested each section of the rim. Then, with careful hands and patient skill, he began to put right what had gone wrong. The work was neither hurried nor slow. It was simply certain. The sort of workmanship usually found in large towns, where skilled craftsmen spent years learning their trade. Not at the side of a lonely Highland road. The family exchanged glances. How could a wandering traveller know such things? Yet none interrupted. By late afternoon, the work was done. The wagon stood straight once more, solid, ready for the road. The travellers could scarcely believe it. One by one they examined the wheel, running their hands along the wood, shaking their heads in wonder. That evening they invited the stranger to share their camp. For the first time in many days, laughter returned to the roadside. A small fire crackled beneath the darkening sky. The travellers spoke of roads they had walked, villages they had visited, and the places they hoped to see. The stranger listened, as he always did, speaking little, watching the flames dance in the gathering darkness. The grey dog lay beside him, close to the warmth of the fire. Its head rested upon its paws, its eyes half closed, yet always watching, always listening. The stars wheeled overhead, the fire burned low, and one by one the travellers drifted to sleep. When dawn finally broke across the hills, the camp still lay quiet. The embers glowed faintly in the morning light. The stranger rose, lifted his haversack onto his shoulder, and without a word, continued on his way. The grey dog rose beside him. Together they followed the road into the waking day, and before long, they were gone.